What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Friday, April 8th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 9-game slate tonight. And now that we're down to the last few games here in the NBA regular season, always be sure to check the injury report right before the game start, because you never know what teams are going to sit what players. So you got to really be on your toes in these final games of the regular season. But I've got a few good picks here for you today. So let's take a look at the point guard position. Here's a value play. Take a look at Xavier Simpson from the Oklahoma City Thunder playing the LA Lakers, who have the third worst defense overall, give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Xavier Simpson, he's come in and played 2 games, and he's going to be the starter again here tonight. And in those 2 games, he scored 28 and 26 fantasy points, and he played 38 and 43 minutes. He's projected at 27.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 7 times value. He's only $3,900 DraftKings salary. He's $800 more on FanDuel. So I love that DraftKings price. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 227.5 points scored here in this game. So I like Xavier Simpson as a value play here versus the LA Lakers. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat playing the Atlanta Hawks, who have the 11th worst defense overall, give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Tyler Hero has averaged 34.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 29% usage rate. He's projected at 34.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's $6,700 DraftKings salary, 200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 228.5 points scored in this game. And Tyler Hero has scored 50, 38, and 35 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 36, and 29 minutes. And he scored 32 and 52 fantasy points in his last 2 games versus the Hawks. And actually, he has not scored under 34 fantasy points in all 5 of his last 5 games. So I like Tyler Hero here versus the Atlanta Hawks. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Gary Trent Jr. from the Toronto Raptors playing the Houston Rockets, who have the worst defense overall, give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Gary Trent Jr. has averaged 29.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He's projected at 30 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's $5,900 DraftKings salary, $600 less on FanDuel. So I like that price on both sites, but I love that FanDuel price. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 228.5 points scored in this game. Gary Trent Jr. has scored 45, 27, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 32, and 43 minutes. So I like Gary Trent Jr., who scored 61 and 33 fantasy points in his last 2 games versus the Rockets, here versus the Houston Rockets. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. So I think this is my power forward here. No, there he is. Okay, so I like Danilo Gallinari from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Miami Heat, who have a good defense overall. They've been good versus opposing power forwards. Now, Danilo Gallinari has averaged 21.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 25 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate, but he scored 45 fantasy points in 39 minutes last game. And is there an injury? Yeah, John Collins is out. So it looks like Danilo Gallinari could get some extra minutes here again tonight. Just keep an eye on, the news leading up until the game. But if the last game is any indication of how many minutes he's going to play this game, and it's not a back-to-back, so he should get plenty of minutes here tonight. So he's projected at 23.3 fantasy points, but if he's going to play 35 minutes or more, I would expect 30 fantasy points or more and over 5 times value. He's $5,200 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 228.5 points scored in this game. So I like Danilo Gallinari here versus the Miami Heat.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the center position. So this guy has just crushed it the past 2 games, and he's going to continue to get monster minutes. His price hasn't come up all that much. He's still a reasonable play here, still with a ton of upside. Definitely some risk because he could have a bad night like any player. But take a look at Jalen Hoard from the Oklahoma City Thunder playing the LA Lakers, who have the 3rd worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing centers. Jalen Hoard has averaged 32 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He scored 40, 62, and 10 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 36, 45, and 23 minutes. So we're hoping for 35 minutes or more, and he's projected at 35.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6.4 times value. He's $5,600 DraftKings salary, 400 more on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 227.5 points scored in this game. So we see this guy's got some monster upside, and he's averaging 1.1 fantasy points per minute in his limited play time so far this season. But if he can get 35 minutes or more, he should be able to crush value here. So I like Jalen Hoard here versus the LA Lakers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video, or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups
using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.